Greetings, how y'all doing today? This is Muscata, Basie, aka Lambert C. Emmanuel Davenport. This is coming from you from God is King movement, and I would like to present to y'all today the one of the most important symbols that we see that actually formulates our whole body, which is called the flower of life. Now, when you look at the flower of life, some people don't realize the DNA or the hexagrams of the DNA strains within it. So what I did was I was listening to a elder, Dr. Phil Valentine, and he was talking about this flower of life. And what I noticed was these patterns. So what I did was I add up these patterns. And when you look from left to right, or right to left, but this is how we read. So we read left to right. You will see on the left side, which in the Sephirah will be Banah, which is understanding. And you will see the DNA strands of 3, 4, and 5. Now, when I said to myself, I said, that's interesting. So I wanted to find out what actually 3, 4, and 5 mean. So, I did my little research, and, what I found out is interesting. Just like the movie Get Out, it actually is meaning we need to get out of our state of being, our DNA lockdown, our mental lockdown, our physical lockdown, our spiritual lockdown. It's a number that resonates, that you have to put in that trust with the Creator. So I'm going to tell you what actually says by what is called the angel number from what I got from the sun signs. It's associated with people who are going through change. Now, we all going through changes. And some changes are just like, you putting on underwear, but you didn't wash up. You know what I mean? And some changes are actually, you put on you washed up, then put on underwear. That's progression. So not only did you have a clean underwear, but your body itself that you was going to put the underwear on is clean as well. So you're clean, period. So to me, that's the difference between what is called change, because everything's going to change. I mean, we all change, we all quote unquote evolved, into this type of physical reality that we see of ourselves. And some of us actually are shameful of what the God created, and actually what we created into the existence of reality by our emotional states of being that also basically unlocked or lock certain genetic codes which created the outlook that we see now, or our perception. So, when you look at an object and you see something and you see false in it, you have to ask yourself, what is that false? So the number 3, 4, 5 in the flower of tree is interesting because we're talking on the left side. So, quote unquote, people want to consider that the feminine side, you know what I mean? So, regardless of not, we could look. I could tell you something that you might not know. As a male, on the masculine side, on the right side, which is 5, 4, 3, and in the middle is 6. Now, I could tell you something automatically about the masculine side that complements or reminds them that we are helpmeets, not mates, helpmeets for each other. And that's simple. men, we have what is called nipples. We're not breastfeeding nobody, but that's a marker and a reminder that let us know that we evolved out of the phenomenon principle in this third dimension to create the masculine wave. And prior before that, the masculine and feminine principle that came into this three-dimensional wave was androgynous. We had no sex. So that is why you will see a famous symbol that my clothing line is going to have, which people love it. It's the male and female, the king and the queen. And when you look at that, you will notice that the queen and the king is both, look at their foot, they stepping off with the left foot, meaning that they stomping evil far from their hearts to separate them, because it's all about the heart. And that's where you get 345 too as well. Follow your heart. And also, if you notice, one of her hands is holding the rib. So that reminds her, that she came out the side of the man. Now, her other hand, which is her left, is holding his bicep, which means that you could be comfortable. I am here with you in strength. And that's what all men want in this life. They want that woman that give them that strength, that eternal strength that they have, because men are strong externally, but we're not strong internally. And some people say, no, that's not true. No, it is very much true, and we have to accept our our flexibility of energy that flows through females as well as it flows through mans as well. So in females, of course, there is masculine energy, and in males also there is feminine energy. So a woman looks for love in a man, that you would think she have love in her. She has love, but it's external. She has strength internal. We have love internal, and we have strength external. So when you put these two together, they are one, complete. And that is the unity that God is talking about, not duality. Because the masculine and feminine principle, once you look at it, that's and you don't understand the reason for both of them to be interconnected and interdependent, you get what is called independent, which is duality. Now you're fighting against each other. So now you're running into something. When you study the flower of life, you'll see within the flower of life it's the so-called tree of life. And that is where we're supposed to be eating all the time. But however, there's a shadow in it, and it's a missing part. When you look up and you put the tree of life into the flower of life, you will see a missing area that's going up top to the Kether. When in the middle of that, from Tereth, which is the heart, is Dieth, which is knowledge, which I consider is the shadow, because it favors more on the left. People try to say it favors more on the left, and this is where evil, blah, 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 could come into play. But once you have knowledge, if you notice something, people who have no legends or books, it's hard to talk to them. It's hard to talk to them. And if you notice all the religions of the world, all of them have a knowledge. They have a known legend, a known book around the world. And guess what? They're divided not only against each other, but they divided within themselves. See, now the kingdom of God movement is about no division, because you can't divide the whole concept that God is king. And you know in the scriptures, so you know the realities of that. So in the tree, in the flower of life, you will see on one side is 3, 4, 5, and in the middle is 6 strains. And then you will see 5, 4, 3 strains on the right side. And if you notice, there's the it basically give enlightenment to each other's side. If you look at it from one side, it's 345 or 543, depending how you look at it, or 345 or 543, depending on you look at it on the right and left. No matter what, if you start to bring them like together, 55, 44, and 33, once again you got 543, 543, meaning that it is balanced. The tree of life is about balance. The flower of life is about balance. When you have a male and a female, it's about balance. It's not about this, what is happening now, like Women's Day because they're mad at men and men don't respect them. No, the reason for a lot of things, and we have to start to be truthful to ourselves, is that we have accepted the ways of Iblis or the ways of Lucifer, and we indoctrinated his concept or that ideology of these fallen angels or whatever you want to call them, and we accepted that, and we forget that we the viceroys on this planet Earth, and that is the problems we have. And now, to understand what the tree of life looks like, it's like this right here. This is the tree of life, and if you look at it, as I said, you got 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the middle, and 3, 4, 5, 6 on the left side. Now I did some numbers here as well. If you notice, it's like 55, 44, 20, and then you see that I broke it down a little further. I got 10. I have 10, 8, and 6, which is 24, and then on the other side I have 55, 44, 33, which is 132. So when you have 132, that's 6 and 6, that's 12. There's the 12 zodiacs, and then you get the 3, which are the 3 mother numbers, and then you go to the 1. So what happens is that people get caught out there with God is 3. No, God is 1. Like Dr. Phil Volatile said about hydrogen, how it it multiplies itself, and that's where you get all the numbers, and you only get up to 1 to 9 in the multiplications of that. So what happens is it repeats itself and it generates itself, and we put it in our mind that there's higher numbers than that. We go 10, 20, 30, 40, 100,000, millions, billions, zillions, trillions, quadrillions, all that crazy stuff. We start to name stuff. And we have to remember the reason why we could do that is because the Creator gave us the powers to do that. So, what God is King movement is about is really about you harnessing that God particle in you. Basically, we are the ambassadors on this planet for the Creator who's given us this. So when we look at religions and they talk about, oh, the original sin and etc., etc., no. Let's get this clear and perfectly right. The Creator already foreseen and knew all of that was going to happen. It was a divine design plan. And people said, well, that's bringing in suffering and this and that. No. Where you looking from that comes from the concept and idea of Lucifer. What the Creator did is that the Creator has given us all these special abilities to just challenge ourselves, not for Him, ourselves, to be better and to refine ourselves. So in certain points of view, you look at something as suffering instead of looking at something as a challenge. I remember a person taught me, he said, never look at something that you did and it failed it just didn't happen at that time. He said, never look at that as a total failure. It was not. It was a life experience. And through that experience, you've understand your powers and where you are stronger or weaker at. And if you want to continue in that venue, then that means you have to power up. You understand what I'm saying? So what the Lucifer tried to do is make you believe, give you what is called spatial perception, because it's an object, it's become a reality, right? Put you in the square and do all types of arithmetic up in that cubic square, or what they call Metatron cube. Put you in the cube or in the square, as they say in masonry, stand on your square, right? Notice you're not the brother's keeper in here, way, and project these false images in your suggested mind to make you believe that you failure. So a lot of people, once they try something doesn't work, they feel, oh, it's not going to work at all. They give up right away. And that's a victory per se for Lucifer. And if he could continue to win victories like that within you, then sooner or later you will run into a stage of negative emotions for the rest of your life. And you will hold that against anybody that comes to you with ideas to uplift you. You will look at it as if they want to frighten you. Your body will start to take it as a threat. Because what happened is they did a Mandela effect, and worse than that, they did something called continuous flashing suppression, which basically means, what I'm telling you is they mind fucked you, Operation Psychops. What they basically did is put you in an unconscious state. And in an unconscious state, all the stimuli and everything like that that you need to do, you do it automatically. You're not consciously aware of anything. You think you are, but you actually are unconsciously awaken. I'm going to explain it to you a little bit more easier so you can understand this. This all have to do with this too. And this goes into the Kabbalah, and like you have the Kaaba, and people look at it and say, well, that's Kemetic. Okay, so what is confirming, what I mean? It's really not that much a difference. Some people would like to have divisions. See, if anything confirms something, it's not saying that I came to destroy it, then what are you talking about? See, you want to keep that division, like if your stuff is exclusive. If you see a flower, you just don't see one kind of flower, you see thousands of flowers, because that's how deep the Creator is. No religion is just one religion, that's the Creator's religion and that's it. No, this is how deep the Creator is with his knowledge and infinite wisdom and sovereignty that he has. And we got to respect the Creator. A lot of us don't even understand that we actually curse the Creator right now by the way we acted. We think not, but surely we are. And many of us, sometimes deep down inside, what I'm talking about is right. You go to your little corner like, damn, I don't know how to come out of this. Well, the first thing you got to do is stop saying you don't know how to come out of it. Because as long as you keep yourself and keep those thoughts, it imprisonates you. You start to not use your cortex, not use your higher thought, not use your kether, not use your shukma, your wisdom, not use your banah, your understanding, your teferah, your husud, your yudi, all of that. You won't use none of those spheres, and you'll stay into what they call the kalipoth. You'll smite yourself, you'll hag yourself, you'll do all the negative stuff about yourself, like the 7 deadly sins. You understand what I'm saying? So instead of going around the Kaaba 7 times in the right way, you'll go around the Kaaba 7 times in the wrong way. You see what I'm saying? That's called reverse psychology, right? So that's what they do to us. They reverse our psychology. And understand something about psychology. Psychology is not really the study of the mind. Get that out your soul. It's the study of the soul. It's the Ba. You know, people think, what is mind? If you're going to say it's to the brain, then you're lost. Because when something happens in the brain or you go into a coma, people claim your brain dead, right? But people say, oh, but they still hear. Of course they do. You know, because the mind is basically outside the brain. It's coming from another dimension, but you will start to understand that as the future plays along and science, some of y'all don't understand the spiritual world, the metaphysical world. That's why I'm not religious anymore. I'm spiritual, metaphysical. I love metaphysical and spiritual because metaphysical and spiritual makes you understand the beauty of all the beliefs out there that are in tune with the world, with the universe, and that are in tune with you. Like, like for instance, I was reading one man said that it's not Hindu, it's not religion. Is the universal energetic field, because you think about it. Is O-A-M. So A-Um-Ma. So you got you got A-U-M, you know. So it is a letter, but it is a language. Not only that, it's a vibration that vibrates certain things in your archives or your cavities within your different chakras, and creates a certain frequency and creates a certain enlightenment, and in tune you with the entombment of the earth in the universe, as it does a tortoise around that comes down into this cranium that was the soft part and goes down to your pineal, out of your, in between your rectum and your private part. And it's like that. It's just like that, and it's hitting all your chakras, and people got to understand certain organs that are in the cranium that produces hormones. Some of them are ductless, so they spinning. So they're doing, and this right here is the flower of life, and in the flower of life is the Kabbalah. And if you see it, the Kabbalah is right there. That's the Kabbalah right in the middle. The Kabbalah is on the 5th and on both 5 5s, and then the 6 is the middle. And you can see it. You got the foundation. You got the kingdom. You got the heart. You got diet, and you got Ketta. And then that's funny. It shows them all right there. You know, which are the 11 spheres. And this is where you get the master number. And out of 11 spheres, you get 2. But where do you see 2? You see 2 is simple, because here, 5 and 5, that's 2. And I want you to know something. Think about this. When you create a baby, right? Male and female together, sperm and egg chromosomes is 23, right? 23 on one side, 23 on the other side, right? 2 plus 3 is what? 5. And 2 plus 3 on the math is 5, right? So you have the 5 right there. But it gets so deep. You understand? And then with those 5 there, you create a 1 in the middle, which is 6. You see? Which means you create a being, well, the woman, of course, she channels this in. And I'm going to tell you something that we might not even think about in this. It might sound a little bit freaky, but you know what? The woman's vulva is right there too. But we don't see that. And also the male's shaft, the penis, we circle in there, but we don't see that. But if you look good, and I could do diagrams and show that, you will see that. And then, not only that, within this too, you also will see this the fruit of life, or what they call the seed of life. You know, you will see that all in here. So this is all a beautiful combination. It runs up to various numbers. It goes up to when you do all of these add-ins, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know what's so funny? When you do that, what number do you come up with? You know, when you do 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, you're going to come up with what? 26? Or you're going to come up with something different? Can y'all tell me? What you going to come up with? 30. Which, once again, is the Trinity. Is the masculine, female principle of the Father, Mother, and Son. So, but this all is encompassated in this flower, which is all the internal one. So we encased in the Creator's beloved reef. And this is where you get Job also, when Lucifer talks about, oh, he has the protective reef, talking about this. And once you take it off, it surely it curse you. Now people don't even understand that. They take that as like, oh, what will you do this? Well, I'm gonna tell you something. This 3, 4, and 5, like I said, it has something to do with follow your heart. It also tells you that God will protect you. God is with you. There's no need to worry, because God is with you. He's around you. He's in you, and you're a part of God. And that's how it goes. This is your brother Lambert C. Emmanuel Davenport, Muscata 67, saying peace and blessings to all of y'all out there. And may y'all have a safe and wonderful day, even night, you name it. Peace. Take care.